10 awful irrational clips on my 600-pound life. Many amazing stories about my 600-pound life have been on TLC, but the people featured on the show have often been reliant on others for so long that they initially struggled to act like adults and take control of their lives. In today's video, we'll take a look back at 10 of the most ridiculous events in my 600 pounds existence. Sarah. It's a big deal to ask someone to relocate to another area of the country for you. Sarah's mother, on the other hand, was not looking forward to spending a year in Houston caring for her daughter. They had already been arguing for the most of their journey, but things became even more tense once they arrived in the new Houston apartment. Sarah was immediately confronted about bringing unhealthy items into the flat, and she was greeted with evasions. James' daughter had to drop out of school, and their father refinanced his home in order to pay for his son's medical transportations. Despite the fact that James was the heaviest patient in the 600 pounds life history, he kept manipulating his delusional lover Lisa into feeding him more food. Unfortunately, he and his enablers proceeded down in the disastrous path, and the intelligent 600-pound life star died on April 3, 2020. With an informant claiming that James' heart gave out due to stress following liver and renal problems. Tammy, 28, weighed just over 600 and was practically confined to her chair when we first met her. She spent her days eating and sleeping, and with the exceptions of bath once a month when her wife Beth or mother Kathy nagged her enough. Tammy had already lost a large amount of weight after her weight loss adventure, so she was determined to become more self-sufficient. But she soon relapsed and began making excuses for her excess. And Jeanette weighed a whopping 679 pounds when we first met her in season 7, and she had to rely on her girlfriend Erica for pretty much everything. But then he began overeating once more. The doctor reminded her that she had come to Houston to save her life, and that surgical approval didn't imply she could immediately return to consuming 7,000 calories per day. He then reminded her that she needed to rectify the damage she'd done in addition to dropping the 50 pounds she needed to lose in order to be reapproved for surgery and the engine. And she thankfully got back on track by the end of our episodes. Shauna Collins, 22, started out at 659 pounds but reportedly lost her diet plan. So instead of phoning the doctor to request a new one, he opted to wing it, adding that she expects to drop as much weight as she was intended to with the support of her cousins and caretaker. Tiana went to Justin because she couldn't keep up with her diet. After speaking with her, the doctor decided to keep her in a psychotherapy session. Samantha. Season 9 is the last of the series. Samantha's weight loss journey began when she weighed about 1,000 pounds. After a stay in the hospital, she was returned home once more, but she was having trouble keeping her spirits up. Bella, her adolescent daughter, did her best to encourage her mother and focus on the positive parts of her circumstance. Samantha only continued to dwell on the negativity. Marie. Sheenie Marie was one of the largest people on season 6 of the 600-pound life, weighing 665 pounds at barely 27 years old. But viewers will remember her for her rational and combative demeanor. Dr. Now confronted them, and it was clear that he doubted Sydney's intentions to reduce weight. Despite the fact that they professed to be on a diet, she put on 48 pounds and never attempted to work through her problems or treatment sessions. Doctors were now attempting to persuade her of the gravity of her conditions, but she refused to accept responsibility for her own life, instead insisting on depending on God's plan. HGT, who weighed 892 pounds and had a massive 100-pound lymphedema on his left leg, was one of these patients. He lost 100 pounds per month in the hospital. Unfortunately, he ended up breaking up with his fiancée, relapsing and gaining weight, and made a variety of justifications before being sent to rehab for a second time because he was endangering his health. Thank you very much for watching.